Welcome to the Fraudian Slip, a podcast by the Identity Theft Resource Center, where we peel back the layers of the latest scams, fraud, and identity threats. I'm James Lee, the president of the ITRC. Joining me today is Luis Carrones, a security evangelist at Gen Digital, and as usual, the ITRC's own CEO, Eva Velasquez. At least in the northern hemisphere of the planet, it's officially summer, which means it's also travel season for many people. It's also prime scam season, too. From fake websites to data breach fueled phishing scams, the bad guys, they just don't take holidays like the rest of us. So, Luis, I'm going to start with you. What exactly does a security evangelist do?
And I try to evangelize about what the threats are in the world and let consumers and users know what do we have to do to be ready to face those threats that we have to face nowadays. So I'm working in the threat labs at Gen. We are dealing with all type of scams, malware, all types of threats that we see all over the world. We have like over 500 million users. So you can imagine the kind of threats we can see in a real time, right? So we have a pretty good view of what is happening in the world. So I try to translate what we see so users can become aware of what's happening and how to be protected.
All of a sudden, I'm struck with how do you sleep at night, seeing all of that and knowing all of that that's going on.
The secret is working a lot of hours, and then you are so exhausted that there is no choice.
Well, Eva, why is it that summer always seems to bring out the bad actors? We take vacations. Why can't they?
Well, they never sleep. And I know we see a lot of uh, particularly travel scams in the summer, but let's keep it real. The scammers don't take a break. They are active all year long, but they have seasonal preferences. So, during the winter, it tends to be more around the holidays because they just love to exploit our vulnerabilities, of the moment. So, summertime, it's a peak season for things like travel scams and anything that they can do where we're distracted. People are, we're booking trips, we're making last minute changes, we're in particular dealing with unfamiliar vendors. When you're shopping, you kind of tend to have your favorites, but a lot of times when you're traveling and making these new adventure plans for the summer, it's something new. So you're dealing with a lot of vendors and organizations that you don't really necessarily have a past relationship with and probably or maybe won't have a future relationship. It's kind of this one and done. And then all of the regular things apply, James, all the urgent sounding. You've got, oh gosh, if I don't react to this right away, my trip is going to get messed up. And we don't necessarily give things that the normal or the required amount of scrutiny, especially when we feel like there's pressure and we have to make a choice and we're distracted and we want everything to go right. So it's just a great and I hesitate to use the word great, but it's a great opportunity for the scammers because they know really how to hijack our brains.
Yeah, it's true. You're completely spot on. We were asking ourselves the same question because that's the question that okay, we have to fight with them like against them all the year, right? It's like and it never stops. But it is the same. So we did a study like for the last couple of years. Okay, what kind of scams are we seeing in summer and what kind of scams are we seeing like through all the year? And there is a difference, and it makes it exactly matches what Eva is saying, right? Like there are certain types of scams that during this period they explode.
Well, I know that you guys recently identified more than 350 compromised accommodations across 50 countries, and it was linked to what you're calling reservation hijack scams. Walk us through how that happened and what you found and what we should be looking out for.
Yeah, well, I mean, the story on how we started with this is like close person to us got a WhatsApp message in New Year's. It was in the 24th of December exactly. so right before Christmas. And the person was in the kitchen preparing dinner for that night. And that person got a message, WhatsApp message from a business account, not like a random unknown number, but it was like a registered business account. And they were introducing themselves as the staff for customer care of a hotel. She had a reservation for that hotel, the person, and it was directed at the name of the person. It was indicating the dates, the name of the hotel, the price she had to pay, etc.
Mm.
All the details. And then just to formalize that they had to click on a link and just make sure that everything was right. Otherwise, the booking had to be canceled. That's how it started. And then okay, how this is happening, how they have all this information. And the real story starts really, really way before that. Because it doesn't start with the traveler, actually. It starts with the inside accommodation process, right? Like imagine you work at a hotel, you're at a hotel, and then you receive every day like dozens of or hundreds of messages like guest complaints, booking changes, payment notices, invoices, requests, all kind of communication, right? And we have been able, in the cases we look at, to identify some of the lures aimed at this accommodation staff and they go exactly to that kind of daily work. We saw messages impersonating booking platforms, fake guest complaints,
Mm.
urgent reservation verification requests, payment and invoices topics. And all the messages were designed to make staff either opening a document or signing again in some platform in and always, of course, as in all scams, to act quickly, right? Then why do they do that? Basically to steal credentials or to get access to the reservation system of the hotel. And that's when the attacker gets the access to the right account or to the inbox, the guest messaging services, wherever. That's all they need. They can see that a guest is arriving on Friday. They can see the property, the dates, the price, sometimes even like the conversation history between the accommodation and the guest. So they can insert themselves there in a very realistic way. And then is when the second part starts. That is how I started. That someone gets a message, like it can be an email, a WhatsApp message, an SMS from the accommodation, supposedly. And the thing is that it is so realistic because it has real data for from the victim. So the traveler receives the message, sees that it appears to come from the hotel or the booking platform. It says there is a problem with the payment. The car must be verified, or the booking might be canceled. And this is not like a generic phishing email. It's like it mentions the actual accommodation and the real trip. So the victim thinks like, okay, they know my booking. This is real, of course. And then when they click on the link, it takes them to a phishing page built around the same reservation. Like imagine you did that through booking.com, right? You click on the link, you are an open a website is open with the same look and feel that booking, with the details of your reservation, the name of the hotel, the picture of the hotel, the days, the price, everything. So you think you are in booking.com, you are not, but the page is perfect. If you did it directly with the hotel, it doesn't matter. The page will mimic the hotel, right? And if you have any doubts, and this is kind of brilliant from their side and very malicious, all of these pages have also a plugin with a live chat, so you could talk to their tech support in case there was an issue, and there was like a live person there, the scammer, of course. So in case
Wow.
there is an issue when you are like typing your credit card, oh no, it's not working, or okay, let's try another credit card, or did you receive an SMS with a one-time code? Oh, please type it here so we can make sure that everything goes right.
You know, even what makes this so scary is and so effective is that it's this accuracy. It's they
Mhm.
have the real data. How how is it that an average person is going to be able to defeat or even recognize that kind of social engineering because it's so precise and it's real data. How can somebody spot that if it happens to them?
That's the real challenge. And right now, the unfortunate answer is they can't. We've spent years teaching people to look for red flags, vague greeting. You're talking to maybe it's a company you've never heard of, never dealt with, and that simply isn't there. They have enough information that the pattern matching that our brain does, all of this checklist of, okay, this all sounds legitimate, this works. This is indistinguishable from the real experience that you're going to have, and that's why it's so terrifying. And by the way, I know we're talking right now about hotel reservations and this type of activity, but this is everywhere. We are talking also to people in the contact center who are having this experience with like a fake utility company. They think it's their cable provider. And, well, they had my name, they had my phone number, they had my account number, they had my address. And so I assumed that they were using that to say, well, it really is us that you're talking to. That's why you can believe us, and it's adding to their credibility. So this is the same principle is happening here. They're getting this message at the right time with all of this accurate data, and you think, well, who else would know that but the hotel I have a reservation with? And that's why I think it's so important to put the word out to people that, well, these types of breaches are happening, so you can't just automatically assume just because they know this information, I really am talking to the legitimate hotel that I made the reservation with. And it's terribly inconvenient. It's going to take a lot more time, but it is something people need to be aware of so that they say, hey, maybe I'm not going to engage directly with you. And the same message we say when it comes to all types of scams that have a phishing, smishing, the phone calls, go to the source and verify. You don't have to engage with that communication, even though it sounds so legitimate.
Luis, is there a typical pretext that people are using in these cases, bad actors are using to trigger panic? And how is it they are so successful in getting people away from the legitimate websites, the legitimate channels, over to this fraudulent kind of
Yeah,
website and channel?
the pretext is almost some version of payment risk, right? Your credit card failed or your booking must be verified. Uh, Either way, other way, your reservation will be canceled, right? That's what triggers a bit of the panic in the victim, right? And that's what they always use. And the traveler clicks because they do not want to lose their trip, right? I mean, and then they click, it opens a browser and it gets to a website that is really, really similar and almost indistinguishable unless they are taking a look at the URL address where it is obviously different. And they feel at home because it's the same website they use to do the reservation, right? So they don't feel that they are leaving that site. In some cases, more rare cases, it's even worse because I talk about getting a message via WhatsApp, SMS, etc. But we've seen cases where the victim was getting the message in the booking.com app itself because
Wow.
the attackers in this case, they have compromised the account of the hotel in booking. So uh, the victim had received official, proper, completely real message from the hotel, and a few days later, from the same account in the same thread, a message from the hotel, supposedly from the hotel, saying like, "Hey, sorry, there is a problem with your credit card. Please, you have to follow these steps." In this case, it was even most. I mean, you weren't even getting out of the place. In this specific case, thankfully, the hotel recovered control of the account and then sent a message to the victim again, like, sorry, please disregard the previous message. We were compromised, and this was like an attack. And you could see the threat, the full thread, like with the real message, then the fake message inserted, and then the other one. So it's really difficult for users to realize they are not in the proper place.
Yeah, I don't want to belabor this too much, but Eva, because this is part of a bigger trend, maybe part of the thing people need to look for now is like what we're talking about here. We need to learn more about what are the new kind of things that people who are trying to steal our information, steal our resources, what it is they're doing. It's not grammar anymore. It's not
Mm-mm.
fuzzy. It's not fuzzy logos on a
No.
fake website. It's how they make you feel. It's this if somebody is if all of a sudden you say you need to re-verify your credit card, is that the trigger? Is for you to say, maybe this isn't real. Or is it the fact that they're making me feel panicked? I shouldn't feel panicked. That maybe that it's that feeling that is the trigger for people to go, I need to do a little more due diligence. Is that where we've gotten to?
I think so. I think that's part of it. There are still a few things that aren't centered around emotions, like checking the URL, making sure it's not just the look and the feel and that it's got the right color scheme and those are the photos, but is that URL accurate? I mean, I know because I'm so paranoid and have been in this space for so long, I'm always looking at the URL, but that's not how everybody operates. We may need to start moving more towards that and really telling people, please double check the URL. That is really important. The fake websites have gotten far too good and they're so easy and cheap to build. But the other piece is we always tell people, hey, you do not need to react right away to these incoming things. It is okay for you to take 5 minutes and think about it. And so recognizing that sense of urgency, like you said, that fear, and saying, hey, I want to take 5 minutes. And here's a really good clue. Most of the time, you're going to get a different reaction when it's legitimate versus illegitimate because a legitimate company who you are actually their customer, if you say, I need 5 minutes to verify this, they're going to say, okay, do what you need to do. We'll be here. We want to help you, so that's okay. Whereas the scammers tend to escalate. No, you have to act right now. We won't let you do that. Sometimes they start yelling at you. And that to me is that emotional trigger that I do want people to take into account and think about. Hey, as a legitimate business that wants me to be a customer, maybe be a customer in the future, are they going to start screaming at me when I don't do what they say right in that moment? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, maybe the hotel reservation person is having a bad day, but 99 times out of 100, they're not going to escalate when they're talking to you. They're going to legitimate businesses. They're going to de-escalate. Go ahead. You go ahead and verify that, Eva. We'll be here. And again, I know we're talking specifically about the hotel reservations, but the good news here is that this is a mindset that you can adopt across all of your interactions. This, I'm going to take 5. I'm going to phone a friend. I'm going to take a deep breath. You don't have to do everything that these people are telling you to do right that second. You just don't, even when they make it sound like you do. 5 minutes is not going to make or break anything. Take a deep breath, disengage, step back. And that's one of the most helpful things you can do for your brain. A lot of times the scammers will try to keep you engaged because it doesn't allow you to use your logical brain. You're so involved in your emotional brain that you aren't making good choices. And when you step back, all of a sudden the puzzle pieces start to fall together. We hear from victims that tell us this. As soon as I hung up the phone, as soon as I clicked the email out, as soon as I got up from my computer, I started thinking something didn't feel right. I don't think that's should have gone that way. And it's that disengaging that helps you to get there. So I ask people, okay, before you act, disengage first. Step back and say, I need to think about this.
We, we've we've talked a lot about travel today, but Luis, because you are looking at scams all the time and fraud. Are there other things right now we should be prepared to avoid, or other things we should need to be looking for besides just these kind of travel things?
James is trying to not let us get to sleep. We're already going to have trouble sleeping. You and now
Yeah, yeah. Well,
what
So,
else?
that's me. That's
What other
I,
terrifying
I
thing do we
just
need
I
to know
got
about today?
I just got to know all the dark stuff.
what do you guys like to do in summer? Like, do you got to go to concerts, festivals, watch
Sure.
sports?
Sure.
Like,
World Cup,
right?
man. It's World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the other kind of stuff that we see. I mean, like, there's no like big secret. Like, where are people going? That's where scammers and criminals are going to trying to
Mm,
find and lure victims, right? And that's what we see, like fake ticket sales for concerts and festivals. With the World Cup, we have already seen all kind of scams, even like offering job offers, fake job offers
mm.
in behalf on behalf of like FIFA or some other organizations, and that's you see that a lot during this time of the year. You see a lot of package delivery scams, financial scams, gambling scams. I mean, it's full of it. Like imposter scams, we see a lot. Like these ones
Mhm.
that they pose like a family member, for example, like, "Hey, mom, I changed my number, or I was abroad and I need some money. Please send me some." And those ones
Mm,
are really like more than 100% more usual now in summer than the rest of the year.
mm.
Wow. Well, Eva, I'm going to give you the last shot here. So if somebody does find that they have fallen victim to one of these kinds of scams, whether it's a travel scam or ticket scam or whatever, what should they do? And what should they do
Well,
first?
the first thing, let's stop the bleeding first. If there's money involved, a card, an account, I want you to call your bank, your credit card issuer, and report it right away. Just flag that transaction, have them freeze it, claw it back if they can, replace the card, all of those things. And that is paramount and the first thing that you need to do. Unfortunately, after that, there's quite a bit of cleanup. And so I'm always going to recommend that you document everything. Any messages that you receive, phone calls, timestamps, what URLs you visited, just get as much of that documented as you can. And then while it's fresh in your mind and you have that documentation, report it. And the report it becomes a little tricky because where do you go? I don't know where to report this. Well, this is exactly the kind of moment and the kind of thing that ITRC can help with. So I always encourage people uh, contact our free contact center helpline. It's toll free. You can talk to a real person, one of our trained advisors at no cost to you, and they can listen to what's happened and they can give you step by step of what you need to do next. And if you can't remember the other things that I said about contact your bank and document everything, by all means, call us first. It's okay. We will walk you through that moment and hold your hand. It's but I do want people to react. I think sometimes people are so shocked or they are um, upset with themselves. They blame themselves. And so they might just put it aside and go, I can't deal with that right now. And I understand that emotional reaction. I really do. But it doesn't serve you in the moment. Reacting right away so you stop the bleeding is really, really important, whatever that is. If you know enough to contact your bank and start documenting and putting things together, great. And if you don't, get the free help that's available. You can call us, if not us, the Federal Trade Commission. There are a number of free resources out there available to people, and you deserve to get that help if you need it.
Well, thank you both. Great discussion here at the start of summer. And always remember, follow the advice about how to avoid scams and wear sunscreen. Uh, Luis, security evangelist at Gen Digital, thank you for joining us today.
It's been a real pleasure being with you. I hopefully you want to invite me more to talk more about threats and scams. And if you're having any trouble sleeping, I can make it even worse. So
Uh,
He's not going to sing a lullaby. He's like, and I'll just make it worse. It'll go on for days.
oh,
Thanks,
but
Luis.
if I can go a bit off topic, I know we're saying the goodbyes now, but Eva, when you were answering now the last question, like, okay, if you have an incident, there's like one type of scam that I really hate. That is that one that goes after scam victims. And we've seen that advertisements like, have
The
you been
double
victim of a
whammy.
scam?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can help you. Oh, I'm with you. They're awful.
yeah. Those are, yeah. That makes me it makes me feel bad just thinking about it, but well, sorry. So yeah, if you have any trouble sleeping or you are sleeping well and you don't want to, yes, call me and I'll help you out.
well, it's good to know there's at least two of us now in the world who their role in life is to do just that. Well, thank you both again. And if you think you have been the victim of an identity theft incident, fraud, or a scam, travel or otherwise, or you want to avoid becoming a victim, you can always speak with an ITRC expert advisor about your identity issues. We're available on the phone. You can chat live on the web. You can text us, or you can send us an email during our normal business hours. Just visit idtheftcenter.org to get started. Be sure to like and share this podcast wherever you listen to us, and join us next week for our sister podcast, the Weekly Breach Breakdown. Until then, thanks for listening and watching.